I am so frustrated with the stories I hear from so many women, and honestly, some of them broke my heart. The myths that we're told by well-meaning family members and friends, and yes, even from the medical community, can cause so much damage. You may have heard some of these myths yourself, so feel free as you listen to this video, make a comment below of some of the things that you have heard. So I'm going to highlight some of the common misconceptions we're told and how believing them can lead to worsening health and chronic illness. So if you're over 50 and you've been told that weight gain and exhaustion and brain fog or even mood changes are just normal parts of menopause, I need you to hear this right away. That's not the full story. And believing that is the one reason why so many women feel worse every year instead of better. So if you've ever thought it's just how it's going to be, that's what my mom went through, you're not alone and you're not broken. So I'm Anna. I'm a registered nurse and also a functional hormone educator. And so today we're going to be talking about the biggest menopause myths that women over 50 are told and why this keeps women stuck exhausted and blaming themselves. So if you stay with me, because once you understand what's actually happening in your body, everything starts to make a lot more sense. So here's the myth that we're often told. Women hear that sometimes it's directly and sometimes it's off comments, indirectly from well-meaning people, but they just say, hot flashes, weight gain, haha, you're going through the change, fatigue and mood changes, well, it must your hormones, you're all grumpy. It's just part of menopause and you're going to have to learn to accept it. And have you ever thought about eating less and moving more, and you should work out a little bit? For a lot of women, this message comes from doctors that they trust, and maybe you've heard it too. I know I did. But when my symptoms started, honestly, I thought something was seriously wrong with me. I was having hot flashes literally every 30 minutes, like clockwork, day and night. My cholesterol suddenly went through the roof. I gained belly fat without changing anything that I was eating. And things like skin tags started appearing out of nowhere. And I felt like my body was aging overnight. My face was changing and I just felt blah. And I remember thinking, this wasn't what I expected in menopause. And in nursing school, we barely touched on it. Menopause was framed as an occasional hot flash and the ends of your periods, yay! But nobody talked about how disruptive it could feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. And when I brought my concerns to my doctor, who was also female, by the way, I was told, oh, this is normal, it'll pass, just give it some time. Have you tried exercising more? And maybe we should start you on a statin medication right away. But having hot flashes every 30 minutes wasn't something I was willing to just wait out. And that moment was a wake-up call for me because I realized I had been told the same myth that millions of other women are being told. And here's why this myth can cause so much damage. When women are told this is just menopause, they stop advocating for themselves. They stop paying attention to their bodies. They start blaming themselves because their strategies just aren't working. And they accept that exhaustion is their new normal. They miss out on support that could actually help. And some of these menopausal changes are metabolic and could actually lead to serious chronic illness. And I see this constantly in the women that I work with who've spent years trying harder instead of being supported in a different way. And here's what I've observed, both in my own body and in the women I work with. Menopause isn't just about losing your estrogen. It's actually a stress sensitivity shift. And your hormones no longer buffer stress the way they used to, and then that could show up in every body system. So stress can hit your metabolism really hard. It can cause your blood sugar to be out of control. It can cause your insulin to spike. It can affect your sleep and become fragmented. You have a longer recovery after workouts, and your nervous system stays stuck in overdrive. And so the weight gain, the fatigue, the brain fog, they're not random. These are signals. They're not your failures. This is your body crying out. This isn't aging. It's a hormonal transition that requires different strategies than what worked in your 30s and even your 40s. So when women are told just to push through, they often do. They work harder. They restrict their food more. They exercise more intensely. And instead of feeling better, they feel depleted. That's not a lack of discipline on their part, and that's just a mismatch between what your body needs and the advice that you're being given. And so I love to share on this channel. If you would like to subscribe, I can continue to share these things that are going to help you. So what really helps during menopause isn't doing more, it's about doing things differently. It's about supporting your blood sugar instead of restricting calories. It's about preserving muscle instead of burning yourself out with cardio. It's about regulating your stress instead of pushing through exhaustion. You need to nourish your nervous system instead of ignoring it. So this isn't about perfection or about complicated protocols. It's about understanding what your body is asking for. So as an RN and a functional hormone educator, I understand the medical model because I worked inside of it for over 30 years. But I also see how much better women feel. Their symptoms start to go away when they are listened to and they are given lifestyle and nutrition and herbal advice in addition to what their provider is asking for them to do. So the women that I work with don't just manage their menopause. They gain energy, they feel stronger, they stop blaming themselves, not because they found a miracle, but because they stopped believing the myth that suffering was inevitable. So if you're tired of being told that feeling terrible is just a part of getting older, I created something for you. It's called The 9 Ways to Dial Down Stress. It's just a simple guide. It leans into the adaptogens that Mother Nature has provided us. Adaptogens are different plants and foods that help support our nervous system in real science-backed ways. The list has several that are giving you ideas of what would match best with your body and telling you how to test them and use them. And not everybody is intended for every single herb. Our bodies are all uniquely different. I just want to make sure that you talk to your doctor before taking any herb or something different than what they've prescribed for you. So just understand that menopause is about being supported during the transition. It's not about stamping out your symptoms and ignoring them. Your symptoms matter. They're telling a story. It's your way of your body saying what they need. And if you're a woman over 50 who wants clear, honest conversations about menopause, I would love you to subscribe to this channel where I can help you get rid of the overwhelm and learn actual scientific strategies that can help you during this normal transition we call menopause. So what was frustrating you the most about things you've been told about menopause? Leave that in the comments below. I'd love to hear the discussion about that. And as always, this is not intended for medical advice. This is something that I'm giving you for education, and always talk to your doctor before making any healthcare changes.